So, hi friends. This is
Hello.
Gerrard. He's one of my favorite people in the entire world. Say hi, Chris.
Hello.
So, the goal for this, I wrote a few friends, said, let's talk about something real. And of course, he was ready. And I said, the one thing, you can't tell me what it is until it's go time. So that way I didn't have any like biased opinions, any filters. And you and I have these conversations all the time. So I think it's just fun that the world gets to listen in on one of them. All right. So you ready? Set, go. Give it to me.
Failure and friendships and how they connect.
Oh.
And what I'm looking at is we all have ambitions. We all want to get somewhere in life.
Hmm.
How does friendships drag you down?
Oh. Oh, well, you become like the five people that you spend most of your time with, right? That's what we hear.
Yeah. How can they help you succeed?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, man, let's go with the failure first and then we'll hop into the succeed. So, I guess you asked me the question, so I have to answer it first. But I want to ask you how you think about it. Within for me, there's that friendship category, but within friendships, there are a lot of different categories. So, like, I have certain kinds of friendships with certain kind of people, and I think the biggest thing that comes up for me is knowing that person well enough to judge or to discern. There's a better word. Don't let their influence me into failure.
Well, and the reason I brought this up, Wippa kind of told me something the other day that resonated.
Yeah.
Most people, even though they're like, congratulations, yay, they hate to see somebody else succeed
Oh
when
yeah.
they're not at that level. Ones that don't want to see you get there, they're like, ah, is that really a good idea? That's a huge risk,
Hmm.
almost like pulling you back down to their
Yeah.
level,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. So man, two things come up for me in that. Well, I have a couple people in my world who I want the absolute best for them. You're not. I mean, I do think this about you, but when I think about this, this has never been something that I struggled with you. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
we are in similar situations and where I want them to have the world. I want them to have everything. I want them to be given everything. I love them like that, right? Like I want them to want for nothing, but it hurts my heart sometimes when I have to work so hard for some things and they just get handed it. It doesn't mean I don't want them to have it. It's like that human flesh thing, right? So when I think about it and these people that are in your world, it almost makes me wonder, well, it's an internal thing with them.
To me, a lot of times jealousy can be used in a good way, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Like, man, that
Yeah.
guy's out there killing it and it drives me, right? I want to get to where they're at. I watch them, I listen to them, and I use that. But a lot of times people take that jealousy and turn it into hate. Hate pushes them away from their goals. I know if I come with you with a problem, you're not going to be that yes person.
Hmm.
You're not. I mean, like me and you had conversations where I get off the phone and I'm pissed. I'm
Yeah.
mad,
Yeah.
but it was all true. And in my heart, I knew it was true.
Yeah.
That's the type of person that you want. A lot of people will either find yes people
Hmm.
or people who's trying to keep them back from their dreams by
Hmm.
creating negativity. If you don't have the right people in your sphere, then you're not going to have somebody driving you and forcing you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
My pastor said something that resonated with me. We're social creatures. God put us out here to be social creatures.
Mhm.
We need our sphere, our family, our friends.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, we have to realize we got to put the right people in our lives.
Hmm.
and not just anybody.
A couple years ago, I told John, I was like, I want quality friends, quality. And that doesn't mean money, that doesn't mean things, that doesn't mean whatever. It's like the intention of your heart and your morals and your values and your work, your word meaning something, having those quality people around me. I think about it, that emotional maturity keeps coming back to me because those people that are hating, it just shows their lack of their lack of being able to hold their emotions to themselves or to work it out within them, right? Like to say, "Ooh, I feel this feeling of hate coming up. I feel this feeling of jealousy. I feel this feeling of whatever." It's their lack of being able to maneuver those feelings and those emotions. The other person that I think about, because I think that there's different people we're talking about, different personalities, right? Like the ones that hate or the ones that try to slow you down because they're scared. That other person I was thinking about in my world, they everything is a no, don't do it, not because they want to hold you back, but because their insecurities are scared for you. I mean, if I listened to that every time I heard that, big risk brings big reward, and I would never have big rewards.
Being afraid and scared is one of the top things that keep everybody held down.
Yeah. Yeah, fear.
Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like the fear, and
Mhm.
a lot of that is family too.
And so they want the best for you, but it doesn't feel you're not being pushed by them. So, okay, so having different kinds of friends, right? Like filling your plate with different kinds of friends, filling your plate with the ones that are a little cautious, so it puts some reality back into it, knowing when to turn it on and off. I think that's an internal thing inside of us too. Yeah, knowing who to call for what you need. I was talking I was talking to somebody the other day and they were telling me about this person and I said, "That person needs to quit telling you everything." And they looked at me like, "What?" Because because that one person who's telling everything is looking for that validation, but the person she's telling it to is not going to validate her. And so sometimes deciding who do we tell what to.
Oddly enough, as success goes up, friendship and success is a pyramid.
Mhm.
When you hadn't quite got there, you have tons of friends down here, or people who you consider friends. As I got more and more successful,
Yeah,
like the amount of friends I have like dwindled down to
right.
just a handful. We all want that huge friend circle.
Mm, letting go, man, that's a big one for me. There's somebody in my world that I absolutely adore and I love and I care for, but they are not it's there's nothing. I've given all I can give. You know what I mean? And so for this season and time in life, I have given all I can give, and God made that evident and clear. And so it's that either letting go or putting on pause or it's just nothing good is coming out of it in this season. And so being able to let go, and you didn't say this, but I know you mean it because I know you. When you say success, it's not just money success. It's like success in who you are and who you're becoming and your morals and your values as we grow. So success being growing in money, in morals and values, in um thinking, in all of it. Like as we grow, there's going to be less and less people that are growing similarly, right?
Right.
So for us, business is a thing, and then religion is a thing. Like there's going to be less and less, but those are like your ride or dies when you get those. I think maybe defining what failure is, defining what success is, and seeing the alignment. And just because, like I just said with that one person, just because a season means they're not in your circle anymore doesn't mean we're cutting people out forever. Like maybe they hit the growth train and get up where you are. Maybe their thoughts change and their beliefs on things, their belief system changes, and they align with you again, and that's cool. I love this. I'm gonna tell you this. I heard or I thought something the other day. Not the other day, it's been a while ago. But it was the word let go. Like I have to let go of all of that. I have to leave all of that in my past. And I don't really like that wording. I like release. And I thought about it. Release means I can let go of the hard, of the bad, of the ugly. Because sometimes in relationships, we're like, I don't want to let that person go because we had so much good with them, right?
Right.
We had so much enjoyment with them and stuff like that. So you're not letting them go. You're releasing the parts that are not in alignment with where you're going.
Going back to kind of what you said earlier about, I do feel like a lot of people when we say success and all this, they're like, oh, I'm not keeping up with you money wise. I'm not making as much as you or any of that. I think we all have our own idea of success,
Mhm,
but when you actually start seeing success, you realize what it is.
mm,
There's success to me is what I have exactly right now.
mhm,
And it's not about the money in the bank. It's about WIPA, the two kids, my family. To me, I have grown around success of being who is in my life,
mhm,
who I love,
mhm.
who I am as a person, seeing who I was when I was in the army compared to now. Like to me, growing out of that Sergeant Gerrard to Chris.
Right.
When I was in the army, that rank was my success.
Mhm.
Army was my attribute, my personality.
Yeah.
And I thought that I would never leave that and break that. And that was who I was. But my success has been realizing the army was just part of my growth track
Mhm.
of my history. It's not who I am, it's what I've been through. And
There
a
you
lot of
go.
people get so caught up in I'm a realtor or I'm army. They base their whole personality on their career.
Right. It becomes our identity. Mhm.
Right.
Or
And
even like a mom, like I'm a mom and that becomes your identity. No, take the labels off, like take the mom label off, take the realtor, take the coach, take all those labels off. And I'm Ashley and you're Chris. And like that person, making that person content. Uh, yeah,
but to me, I'm the richest person in the world
yeah.
because of who I have in my life that there's no way, no amount of money I would sacrifice for. Like that's part of success in life because you got success in business and success in life.
There you go. You said something big right there. If we're successful in our careers and our career is our identity, then it's money that matters. Then it's um uh our like levels that matter. But if our identity is in us and who God made us to be, then success looks completely different.
Right. And that's the type of friends that you want to keep around you is
Yeah.
the ones that realize, yes, I may be successful in my business, or I
Mhm.
may not, depending on what your level is.
Yeah.
But who I am as a person and where I am as a family man and
Mhm.
who I've realized I am and I'm successful in that's more important than the business over here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And for a
Like
long time I didn't get that. Um, I was looking for validation. I was looking to if I did well in my job, I was doing well in life.
yeah. Well, we all and that's part of that personal growth. I called you and we're bragging about something I did.
Mhm.
I got this many closings.
Yeah.
And, even in my social media, I was posting prideful stuff. Oh, I closed this one, closed this one, closed this one. But as you realize, success has nothing to do with that. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm providing for my family,
Yeah.
but it wasn't making me feel good.
What do we say to the person who is that person who is who we were. Like, man, take us back 10 years ago. What do we say to them about becoming the friend that they want to have? Becoming that person.
Quit letting jealousy interfere. It took a long time for me to get out of jealousy. And jealousy becomes hate.
Mhm,
I mean, I saw people rising above me in rank when I was in the army, and I was jealous. Hey,
mhm.
I'm doing more than him. I'm putting in the effort. I'm doing all this, but he's getting promoted. And that's part of growing spiritually, growing as a person, is I don't want to be that person.
I don't know if you noticed what you just said or not, but the thing that you just told other people, the people that are in that spot, is the one thing that you noticed in y'all's friends that you have, the jealousy that's turning to hate.
Yeah.
And so we learn to see it, right? Like there's some things in life, if I have lived it and I can look across the room and people can walk in and I can see it because I've lived with that, right? And so we are able to see things in other people lots of times because it was a thing within us. What would I tell Ashley 10 years ago about becoming the friend that, oh, this one's going about becoming the friend that she would want now? Mine would be, don't be scared. Because I had had so many friendships that were hurtful, that we were just all emotionally unaware, and we all were trying to survive, and none of us were thriving. And I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about previous to you. But we were all still also.
We had no idea.
We were all trying to survive, right? But those people before, it was, I was so closed off to having friendships because I was scared of what could come of them. But you said it, we need community. I was struggling by myself, and you don't have to do that. Like, there are good people that really have good intentions for you if you learn to discern. That's it. So you got to learn to discern people. My oldest stepsister told me, I'll never forget it. You learn people, you learn who they are, you learn what to expect. You don't expect anymore. You don't get your feelings hurt. Now, we're always relearning people because they're always growing. But you also got some people in, well, not you, but we also have some people in our world who we know them. We know what to expect, and we're expecting something else, and we're getting our feelings hurt. And so being able to look and look past what we wish that person was and what we see that person's potential of being and see what's actually there. I think that's a big one too.
Yeah, we get so attached to people because we've grown up with them or we went through stuff with them. We refuse to see how negative they are. We want to keep them there because we've went through so much with them. And like you said, we got trauma bonds.
Right.
When in reality, we need to cut them loose,
Right.
at least for a season, like you said, because some people are just poison to us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's a
Like,
toxic relationship. That's real. Yeah.
right. Like they're poison, they're toxic. And when you got those toxic friends in your life, no matter how much you love them and love on them and try to share with them, are they ever going to quit being toxic?
I'm sure you've done this too. At times you've been the toxic one, just like me.
Yeah,
Right. And so
yeah.
there's times that people needed to cut me and they did it. And I, like, what growth are we keeping people from having, allowing them to remain the same? Because what we allow will continue. So if we don't cut those people, and when we say cut, we don't always mean like cut them out. They're completely done. Maybe it's a conversation and we try to work it out and allow for change, but you know what I mean. So sometimes we're not allowing people, we're stealing that blessing of their growth because nothing ever changed for them. So they had no reason to grow and to become different or emotionally developed. My grandmother and my papa had me thinking, my grandmother had me thinking one man can supply all your needs. She did. I just knew my papa supplied all of my grandmother's needs. I knew that he was it, and I knew that there was somebody in the world that could supply all my needs. And then I got married and realized that's crap. That's not real. No one person can supply all your needs, right? And so I wanted so badly for John to be the person that I did all this deep conversation with and this deep thinking and this deep talking. And it's just not John's personality. Like we do, but I need it all the time. And he doesn't he doesn't need it all the time. And so I remember praying and asking God to send me somebody to have deep conversations with and like meaningful things. The exact thing that I'm doing right now, and it's not coincidence, it's perfect, that God would send me you to be able to have those conversations with, even though you were my husband's best friend. It was a way for us to be able to have those. And, just for all the people that are wondering, she's really good friends with her husband's best friend. I'm gonna tell y'all how this works. I'm 6'2". Chris, how tall are you?
5'6".
5'6". So John ain't
I'm a
got no
good.
worries, right?
And John is 6'9".
6'9", right? Like
No.
he ain't got no worries. And so it is a safe place for us to be able to be really good friends and to have that conversation. And so when you're looking for friends, this is it, because there was availability for me to have deep conversations, but that wasn't always a healthy place, right? So just because we have needs that friends could fit doesn't mean they're healthy. So in building those new friendships, does this fit my needs? Does this grow where I'm going? But also, I'm gonna leave it on that. Is it healthy?
There's people you consider friends,
Hmm.
and there's people that you bring into your life and their family.
Yeah.
And we have come to that point where it's not our friends, John and Ashley. This is our brother and sister.
Yeah. That's Uncle Chris and Aunt Whippa. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my kids call you aunt and John uncle. Like there's a different level of friendship there that I think most people don't get to enjoy with others a lot.
Yeah.
And it's
And finding those. And you hear old people and they're like, if you got you a handful of friends, you're blessed. And especially like in culture and stuff today in society today, I think it's super important to just be thankful for the good ones and open to the new ones. But at the same time, discernment. Man, that's a big one. Don't know. Chris is a real estate agent in Alabama, specifically Huntsville area. So if you know somebody in Huntsville area, of course, I'm going to tell you he's the best to go to. But yeah, feel free to use him, reach out to him, all those fun things.